Tackle Junkies, what's going on, fellas? We'll appreciate you guys clicking on the video. In today's video, we're going to review the Googan Squad Green Series rod. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I didn't believe I would like this rod as much as I do. And for the price that it comes in at, 80 bucks if you're a Carl's Club member. I think it's 100 bucks full retail, but if you are a member, 80 bucks for this rod. Don't forget about my code as well. Code TJ10 gets you guys an additional 10 bucks off orders, $25 or more, new members only. So if you're a new member, getting this rod for 70 bucks, if you're already a member, 80 bucks, even if you're buying full retail for 100 bucks, it's a dang good rod. Again, I didn't really think I would like it as much as I do. And if you've used this rod, if you reviewed this rod, you know, I don't want to hear from the Googan haters, but if you've actually used this rod, kind of let me know your thoughts on that. I mean, for a $100 price point rod, it's definitely a contender in, like, I don't know, the top 5 or 10 rods for that price. I mean, it's a pretty solid rod for the money. To be honest with you guys, I like this rod over the Gold Series. I feel they put maybe a bit more thought into this rod, but there's just something about it. It just has a really good feel to the rod. It's light. Now that could have something to do with the model that I have here. This is the Twitch rod, which is a 6.9. It's a medium power with a moderate action. So that could have something to do with it. I do believe it's a medium power. Again, they don't really have specs on their rods, which is one of my complaints. It says 6.9 medium moderate. I'm not sure if that's the action because there is like a mod fast. I'm assuming it's medium power with a moderate action. Again, they don't have many specs on these rods. Like we've discussed, plenty of Googan logos that you can't miss, but we don't have the rod specs on the rod. So anyways, just wanted to point that out, that it's a very light, comfortable rod. And again, it could be the Twitch compared to the go-to Gold that I have. But man, I'm pretty impressed with it. I've used this rod for spinnerbaits.
Here we go. There we go. Boy, you better put on a spinnerbait. They're small. Let's fish.
I've used it for poppers, walking baits.
There we go. Got him that time. Huh? No. All right, dude. Better fish too.
Oh, that is.
Yeah, ate the front hook, man. There we go. Better fish.
Underspins. I have not used it for cranking or chatterbaits, but I'd imagine you could if you were in open water. Really, if you had like the go-to rod or even just any medium heavy fast rod, and a rod like this, whether it be this particular rod or a medium or medium heavy moderate action rod, you can do quite a few, you know, different techniques. If you just had those couple rods and you were, you know, pond hopping, dude, you could tackle a pond pretty solid with those two rods. I mean, this is a very versatile rod. And man, it's a blast to fish with. My favorite thing to fish with it is spinnerbaits. You know, I like that softer action rod for my spinnerbaits. I'd rather it be a medium heavy to give myself just a bit more backbone. But like I said, in some cases it's not necessary because you're already moving the bait. You have the momentum of the bait coming towards you. So when the bass hits it and turns off, I mean, it's not all that hard to hook them with a medium power rod. Again, I would prefer a medium heavy for my spinnerbaits, but for a rod that can do many different things, this medium powered moderate action, it's a fun rod to fish with spinnerbaits. But like I said, I believe a Twitch rod is probably meant for jerk baits and poppers. But like I said, underspins, walk the dog type baits, spinnerbaits, it does it really, really well. Like I said, overall, just a very, very light, comfortable rod to fish with. You know, we can start down here with the grip. And I believe it's the same grip on the Gold Series here. It's just, they definitely put some time into that. It's just very, very comfortable in hand. And that's something I always look for in a rod and reel. You know, it's got to be comfortable. Okay, some guys go straight to specs. I go to comfort, I go to appearance, then of course I go to how it's going to perform, specs and all that. If I don't like the way it looks, if it's not comfortable to me, then I don't care how good it's going to fish if it's not comfortable in my hand. So again, you know, I'll keep shopping around until I find a rod that feels good. Then I'll check out the specs. If the specs are what I want, then it's a done deal. If not, then I keep on searching. But like I said, a rod or reel that's very comfortable in hand to me is a pretty big deal. And this one right here, man, I have to say they definitely nailed the grip on the gold and the green series rods. Very, very comfortable in hand. Now, of course, we could have done without the neon green, but I mean, it is a green series rod, so I get it. And really, the Inception Sports E is one of the only reels that really match well on it. I do like my combos to match. And to be honest, guys, I like this rod so much that Carl's had this reel on sale for like 72 bucks. So I ordered another one, and I plan to order the go-to rod as well. And I think it'll be just a couple of really nice pond hopping setups. Grab a couple rods that can do many different techniques. But yeah, definitely very comfortable in hand. It's kind of got that skeleton reel seat where when you grab your reel, your fingers are actually on the blank there. So that's nice as well. It does have a clicking nut there. That's not really a deal breaker for me or not. It is clicking if that's something that you look for. The hook hanger there, you guys can see that right there. Okay, I mainly use bait sacks, okay, for all my lures. Put my lures in the sack, clip them on my rod. I do have a video on these, which I'll link down below. But this particular bait keeper on this rod is not going to cause me any issues like it did with the Gold Series. That particular rod I was using to, you know, pitch a lot. Of course, I would cast with it as well, but then feed out lines so my bait would fall vertical versus swinging back towards me, right? And when you do that with this type of hook hanger on the back, it kept catching my line. If you guys haven't seen that video, check it out. I'll link it down below. So I don't have that issue with this rod because of how I'm using this rod. So we touched on the grip. Like I said, very, very comfortable in hand. I would even go out and say that it's one of the more comfortable rods that I own. Very comfortable in hand. Again, we do like the exposed blank, very sensitive. Clicking nut for the reel. We have plenty of Googan Squad logos. One there on the rear. One here on the split grip, another one here on the blank. Like I said, they're proud of their name. Nothing wrong with that as well. You know, I'm happy for those guys. They're doing big things. They put in the time. So, you know, more power to them. We don't have the specs on the rod, which is something I've complained about from day one. They should be on here, and I know you guys will say you can go to Carl's and buy the rod specific type boxes so you know what to throw on them. But as far as I'm concerned, that only really works if you buy those boxes. I'm not sure where these rods are even offered. Let's say they're offered at Dick's or Academy or wherever. So let's just say you know nothing about the Googan Squad and you have this reel and you want a rod to match. So you pick up this rod here. Oh yeah, man, I like that. That matches. It's awesome. I'm buying this rod. Well, then you get it home and like, oh man, I'm not really sure what I can throw on it. There's no weight specs on here. Well, then what? Then you're taking a chance of busting your rod because you don't really know the kind of weight that it can handle. So again, it should be on here. Take her to leave the Googan Squad. I would put it on your next run of these. I doubt you'll even see this video, but like I said, if you were to make a change to your rods, I would definitely put the line and weight specs on your rods. I mean, we have a ruler on here, which is pretty cool. You know, you're not the first one to do it, I don't believe. It's definitely pretty cool to have it. But if you can go as far as having a ruler on your rod, why not have the weight and line specs on your rod? Okay, one more thing I want to touch on here. You guys can see the green tip on the rod here. It starts right about here, starts to fade up to the tip, all right? I believe what I've been told and what other guys have said is, let me go ahead and actually cut this lure off real fast. Show you guys. Okay, what some guys are saying is that tip represents the action of the rod. If that's the case, that's where the bend of the rod should start, right? So if I flex the rod here, flex on the rod, you guys should be able to see it's starting to bow way before the green starts. Between the first and second guide, it's fairly straight. Between the second and third guide, it's already starting to take a bend. And of course, when you get to the fourth guide and up, you guys can see the bend there. So if that is the case with that color there, it's not accurate. It's starting to bend, like I said, way before the green starts. It's definitely a cool idea if that is the reason behind that. If it's not, I think it looks cool. So either way, I mean, I kind of like it. But like I said, if it's supposed to represent the action of the rod, it's a bit off. It should come further down the blank if it's supposed to start when the action kind of starts on the rod, when the tip kind of meets the backbone, okay? So anyways, guys, all in all, man, I like the rod. I mean, I really don't have anything really bad to say about it. Even that tip deal I just talked about, that's nothing really negative about it. The rod specs, it'd be nice to have them, but it's not a deal breaker. All in all, guys, it's a very comfortable, fun rod to fish with. Like I said, I already ordered another Inception Sport Z. Next month, I plan to pick up another green go-to rod. So, I mean, I like it. I like it enough to buy another one. So, that's kind of my review on the Googan Squad green series rod. So, for the money, especially if you're a member, and if you use my code to get this rod for 70 or 80 bucks, I can't see you being disappointed with it. It's a solid rod for the money. Anyways, guys, that's my review. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to smash the thumbs up. Love you guys, and we will see you guys on the next one.